In order to fix issues with mobile data on Google Pixel 10 Pro XL, first of all, we're gonna go to settings. Over here, of course, we're gonna choose network and internet. And the first thing that we need to take a look at is the airplane mode. Sometimes we can turn it on by accident and we are not even aware of that. So you want to make sure that it is off. If it is, and then after that we can go to SIMs. And in here we have the list of all SIMs that are added into our Pixel 10 Pro XL. So you want to make sure that the SIM that you want to use for mobile data is enabled in here. And if you have more than one SIM, then we have the SIM selection in here, the primary SIM selection. So in this case, we want to choose mobile data, and once again, you want to make sure that the correct SIM is selected, the one that you actually wish to use. And in the case of more than one SIM, we also have this option, automatic data switching, which you can actually turn off, because this can be the reason why you, for example, suddenly lose the access to mobile data. And whether you have one SIM or more, there is also this mobile data option as well, which of course should be enabled if you want to use it. Now, in addition to that, what you can do is go to settings of your SIM, and in here we can make sure that we are using the 5G connection. So over here where we have preferred network type, we can make sure that 5G is selected. So if you switched to LTE, for example, at least for now, switch to 5G in order to see if it makes any difference, if it solves your issue. Also, there is the 2G network protection, which avoids 2G networks which are less secure, and this may limit connectivity in some places, but emergency calling is always allowed. So, of course, if this option is enabled, you might want to turn it off, but of course, at the same time, if it's not enabled, then you might try to turn it on. So this actually can be helpful both ways, like whether it is enabled or disabled, it can be helpful to turn it on or off depending on your specific situation. And besides that, what you can also do is we can go back over here to network and internet, and over here we have adaptive connectivity, which is helpful to extend battery life and improve the device performance by automatically managing network connections. So this is enabled by default, and I guess it is recommended to use this feature, of course, due to the battery life and the improvement of the performance. But in very specific situations, you might want to turn it off to see if that makes any difference. If it doesn't, then you can just turn it back on. Also, there is the data saver, which can also be limiting your access to the internet, so you might want to turn it off if it's enabled. And I believe that is everything that we can do in the settings. Now, there's actually one more thing, the private DNS option, which you can set to automatic in case you made any changes. And also VPN. If you use a VPN, this can also limit your access to mobile data. So you can turn it off for now, at least. Now, and once you go through all of these options, there's another thing that you need to consider, and that is that you may have, it might be not your fault this is what I'm trying to say, and that you don't have access to mobile data. And this can be the fault of your carrier or service provider. If there is some sort of outage or issues with the server or with the signal, then of course there's nothing that you can do. So you just have to patiently wait until it is resolved. And however, there's one more thing that we can do in order to just make sure that we actually did everything we could to solve the issue, And that is, we can go to settings over here. And at the bottom we have reset options. And in here you want to choose reset mobile network settings. And you want to also make sure that the correct SIM is selected. So you want to choose the SIM that is not working, for which the mobile data is not working, but that is also available if you have just more than one SIM. So after that you can choose reset settings, and then you can check if that helps. And that is pretty much everything that we can do in order to try to solve issues with the mobile data on our Pixel 10 Pro XL. Thanks for watching, leave a like and subscribe.